There are paintings that frighten us because of what they show, and then there are paintings that frighten us because of what they suggest. Spaces too empty, shadows too long, a silence so deep it presses against your ears. Tonight, we descend into a world where the darkness isn't a threat, it's a companion. Be a world crafted by an artist who walked alone through abandoned streets long after the world was asleep. This is the story of Léon Spilliaert, the Belgian painter who turned insomnia, illness, and isolation into some of the most quietly terrifying images ever put on canvas. If you're brave enough, let's walk with him a while. Léon Spilliaert was born on July 28, 1881, in the coastal city of Ostend, Belgium. His childhood was quiet. His father worked as a perfumer for the royal household, and the family lived in a calm, respectable neighborhood far from the chaos or tragedy one might expect from an artist who would eventually become known for his disturbing visions. Yet, even as a boy, Spilliaert seemed out of step with the world around him. He wasn't loud, he wasn't social, he wasn't even particularly rebellious, but he was very, very observant. He watched people more than he spoke to them. He studied the coastline, the horizon, the way the fog swallowed buildings whole. This quiet isolation wasn't forced on him. It was his natural state. Even as a child, Spilliaert's mind was drawn to the solemn, the empty, the strangely unsettling. He was fascinated by the invisible tension lurking behind everyday life. And although no one realized it at the time, these early years would become the foundation of the eerie, spectral world he would one day paint. But there was one part of Spilliaert's early life that shaped his art more than anything else. His body was failing him. Throughout his teens and early adulthood, Spilliaert suffered from chronic stomach problems, severe pain, debilitating weakness, and violent periods of illness that would leave him bedridden and trembling. Some historians speculate that he was afflicted with an ulcer. Others argue it may have been a neurological condition. Whatever the cause, the symptoms haunted him like a shadow he could never escape. He would lose weight, sleep in feverish fragments, and stare into mirrors as if trying to understand what was happening to him. His frailty became both a prison and a doorway. It trapped him in his own mind, but it also opened his eyes to worlds that most people never see. And this constant awareness of his own mortality, this knowledge that life could slip away at any moment, left a mark on his art that is unmistakable. His figures lean, they wither, they glow with an otherworldly intensity, as if illuminated from within by fear or fever, or the faintest spark of life refusing to go out. Spilliaert's illnesses led to another condition, one that would define his career and his legacy: insomnia. He barely slept. Nights stretched endlessly before him. Hours passed in silence so complete it felt supernatural. While the rest of Ostend slept, Spilliaert wandered. He walked along the seafront, listening to the waves crash like a heartbeat against the shore. He drifted through empty streets where lampposts stood like motionless sentinels. These nocturnal wanderings became his muse, The world at night was not the same as the world during the day. Buildings looked taller, alleys looked narrower. The sea turned into an endless black void. The moonlight carved deep hollows into his own reflection, transforming him into a stranger. Night was no longer just a time. It was a place, a kingdom of silence, emptiness, and distorted reality. And Spilliaert became its cartographer. Look closely at Spilliaert's paintings and drawings, and you'll notice something unsettling. There is seldom anyone else in them. Even when he depicts the beach, a room, a staircase, these places are hauntingly empty, drained of human presence. Yet they don't feel abandoned. They feel inhabited by something invisible. Spilliaert's figures, when he does include them, are often alone and ghost-like. They stand in strange, stretched-out spaces that feel too large, too geometric, too quiet to be real. His most chilling works are his self-portraits. In them, Spilliaert examines himself the way one might examine a corpse, with curiosity, dread, and a sense that what he's seeing is slipping further and further away from the living world. He captures himself, elongated, fragile, lit by a dim glow, like a candle burning at the end of its wick. His gaze is piercing but unfocused, as if he's looking through the viewer instead of at them. It's not vanity, it's not self-expression, it's self-confrontation. It's the terror of facing yourself when the rest of the world is asleep. Another recurring subject in Spilliaert's art is the solitary female figure. These women often appear in long dresses, bathed in dim light, but they are not comforting. Something about them feels spectral. They are too elongated, too pale, too silent. Critics see these figures as expressions of loneliness, fragility, or psychological turmoil. But when you look closely, they feel like hauntings, not ghosts of dead people, but ghosts of emotions, of memories, of unspoken fears. They are trapped within the atmosphere itself. No discussion of Spilliaert's eerie artwork is complete without addressing his shadows. In most paintings, shadows are simple, a darker version of whatever cast them. In Spilliaert's work, shadows misbehave, they stretch the wrong way. They twist unnaturally. They detach from the objects that create them. Sometimes the shadow feels like the true subject of the painting, while the object or figure is merely a placeholder. Yes, they behave less like visual details and more like living entities, silent. Creeping presences that have learned how to mimic the world but not how to obey it. His shadows feel alive and watching. He reveals the empty spaces where fear grows, the nocturnal woods, the deserted shore, the mirror that shows too much. There's a sphere that whispers, fear that collects in lowly, forgotten places. Léon Spilliaert died in 1946, leaving behind hundreds of works that continue to unsettle viewers to this day. His art is not just haunting. It is a record of every lonely night he spent wandering the sleeping city. Every moment he hovered between sickness and survival. Every hour he lay awake, staring into the dark and seeing shapes the rest of us are fortunate enough to sleep through. He showed us a world that exists only when the lights go out. A world most people never see. A world he walked alone. But now, you have walked it too.